back to Carrier Command 2. Just gonna come back to you today and just bring you a small video just basically describing all of the vehicles that you have at your disposal in Carrier Command 2. We'll start off with air vehicles. So if you look over here, you have this vehicle called a Petrel, where if you may, some of you military people may know, it gives the appearance of being like an Osprey, and it also acts like an Osprey as well. Some of the attachments and stuff that you can have on it, you have a gimbaled camera. I currently have it mounted with 20mm cannons along with IR tracking missiles. But the big advantage to the Petrel is that it allows you to do vehicle drop-offs and vehicle pickups, which I can show you a little bit later in this video. I really like using these, mainly just so you can insert your vehicles extremely fast and get them off of your islands extremely fast. Makes for quick insertions and island takeovers if they have minimal defenses. But the big disadvantage to it, though, is that it does not have a very fast movement speed while it is carrying vehicles, so it is wide open for targets. Now, moving on, we have what we call the Manta. So this is an Albatross. The Albatross is kind of like a Predator drone. So I currently have this one. Once again, it has a gimbal camera, so you can use that for tracking and stuff. And using that for shipboard missiles, you can actually have one of these fly over and track a target. And you can use your onboard carrier missiles in order to actually fire from long range. Same with using the carrier's cannons. It can also do tracking for cruise missiles for the carrier. You can also use this as an advantage for other vehicles as well. So currently I have it set up for bomb runs. So if you see here, I have medium bombs along with IR missiles as small defense. It is extremely fast plane, so it can get in and out very, very fast. The disadvantage to it, though, is it has very low HP. Because if it gets hit, it takes a pretty good chunk out of its health. But like I said, it's made for like quick in and out, do what it needs to do, and get out and go back to the carrier. With its speed, you can also use it for reconnaissance. But it doesn't have anything like an AWACS, such as the Manta does. Over here, take you guys across. We show you the Razorbill. So the Razorbill is like a small helicopter. Currently, I have it set up with 20mm cannons. I currently think that is OP as hell because they come in, they can do strafing runs and all of that good stuff. You can also equip them with IR missiles, torpedoes, what have you. These actually have the lowest HP out of all the vehicles, so that makes them extremely, like, weak. So basically you need to get them in and get out. The big disadvantage to those is if they have any anti-aircraft on the ground, they go down extremely quickly. You can strap these with gimbal cameras, you cannot strap these with gimbal cameras. But one of the big things with these two is they can use them for like cover fire and stuff if you are going. So I usually use these as escorts along with my Petrels. So that way they can have enemies lock onto them instead of the Petrel while I'm putting in vehicles. Last but not least, we have our Manta. So the Manta, like I said, the military people may know, but it does appear like the U-47. We currently have an active service in the United States Navy. These things are a big advantage, though, because these are one of the few vehicles that are allowed to have AWACS, if you can see down there with the little dish on the bottom. So the AWACS allows us to have basically a long-range sight on an island. So these are really good for doing reconnaissance missions. So what I'll normally do is I'll have these fly up at around 700 meters, just outside of an enemy contact range, or you can have them fly in really low under radar range if it's a higher defensive island. So that way they can get a good picture of everything. This is also a really good plane to use for forward seeing as for your carrier missiles. So carrier missiles have a range of 25,000 meters. So what I like to do is I'll send these out first when I'm coming and approaching on an island. So that way I can get tracking and see what I'm facing up against before I make my plan on what vehicles I would like to deploy. They have a total of 6 hardpoints. 2 of which are large hardpoints, 2 small, 1 for the AWACS, and the last one is for, once again, a gimbaled camera. Now, the advantage to a Manta, though, is that they can have tracking cameras. So they can, like I said, just lock on and everything for you. So that way you can get in, get out, do what you need to do, and done with the mission. So with that being said, I'm going to go down and we will take a look at ground vehicles so you can see the different good ground vehicles as well. If I can remember how to get to the hangar. Now, a lot of these are carryovers, similar to Carrier Command 1. So you'll recognize some of these vehicles. So, down here, we have a total of 4 different types of vehicles. So we have 3. I stand corrected, because to my knowledge there is not a 4th yet, but I have not uncovered it if there is. So this very first one here, this is your lightest of all the vehicles. This is a light scout vehicle known as a SEAL. Primarily, this one in particular is using the viruses, so you can deploy your viruses to capture islands by capturing the enemy control tower. Now, when you take the control tower, I believe that they're still working on updates for it, but when you control the tower, technically you could take advantage of their turrets as well, but it does not take over ground vehicles or air vehicles when you take over an island. SEALs, like I said, are light combat vehicles, so they can come in, get out, do what they need to do. They also have the lightest of the armor out of all the vehicles, so these things get picked off pretty quickly. Now their advantage though is they are very fast, so it's hard for the enemy to track them if they're moving at full speed. Now when they're in AI control, keep in mind that you are going to have to keep track of these guys because, like I said, they are lightly armored. So that way, a lot of times I found that the AI, sorry about that guys, the wave just came through the ship. But a lot of times I found that the AI will actually stop and target instead of moving. So I'll usually take control of a SEAL and take care of it myself. Now, the next vehicle in the lineup, we have a medium vehicle. Medium armored. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger than a SEAL. But this is called a Walrus. Oh, come on, waves. Killing me, Smalls. But yeah, this is called a Walrus. The Walrus is a medium attack vehicle. It has medium armor. It's still relatively quick. It's just the big disadvantage to compare to the SEAL is its maneuverability is a lot longer. So it's got a much wider curve, like when it comes to turning and all that stuff. Now they do have a turret hardpoint. So as you see, this one is strapped with CWIS, 20mm cannon. So they use it for anti-aircraft runs. But it's also really good for taking out smaller vehicles, such as a SEAL. Each one of them do have a camera on their front side here that you can see. So that allows you to have first-person view, and you can take control of every one of these vehicles that I've shown you so far. But like I said, it does have a turret gimbal point, and you can actually have up to 3 hard points on the Walrus. So what I like to do is I'll usually have aircraft, like anti-aircraft on one, and then I'll have another one strapped with like a 30mm. Because the 30mm cannon is really good for going against stuff like walruses and bears. And I apologize for the waves, because I am on track to go to another island right now. So, alright, last but not least, this is your bear. As you can see, it's like a tank. It is the heavy vehicle. It's also the least maneuverable, but it is extremely resilient. So when you're coming through, like I said, it can take a lot of damage. Oh, come on, waves. Seriously? Like I said, it can take a lot of damage. Currently, I have this strapped up with a 90mm cannon. It can basically one-shot a SEAL, and it's 2 shots for a walrus as long as you get a direct shot on them. It only has 1 major hard point, unfortunately. But really, with a big old cannon like this, you don't really need anything else. These can be equipped with any kind of turret pods as well, so if you wanted to strap them with rocket pods or any of that good stuff, you're more than welcome to. Just keep in mind that it is a heavy armored vehicle, its maneuverability is extremely low, and it is also the slowest out of all the vehicles. But like I said, in my experience, good luck killing a bear. Now, if you have to fight against a bear, good luck as well. So once again, Like I said, any of the turrets and stuff that you have at your disposal, you are more than welcome to put them onto any of these vehicles that you see before you. And then later on in the video, like I said, I'll show you a little bit more of a display of like what I was talking about and how you deploy them. Show you a little bit about each one of them that they can do. If you look down here, what I think is a really cool addition is that they actually can show you all the supplies and stuff that you have. That's like a brief little thing here. I thought it was a really cool little feature that the devs added into the game. But I will go back up to the bridge and show you guys a little bit more about when it comes to control of the aircraft and all that good stuff. If you are still sticking around here, though, while I'm going up this elevator, I would just like to thank you all for checking out my video. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. I'm trying to grow and be a bigger channel. And I would look forward to sending you guys more updates about Carrier Command 2 as it develops. I am really enjoying this game. So, alright, so over here, well, excuse me, I'll go back over here. So over here, you can actually do your vehicle loadout. So this is a SEAL, as I was talking about. It has 3 hard points, 1 major, 2 minors. So the 2 minors, you can be like an observation camera, countermeasures. This is a sonic pulse generator, aka basically an EMP. Smoke launcher explosive, which that basically just deploys a smoke launcher that does slight a bit of damage, and by slight I mean very little damage. And the last one is a smoke launcher stream, so you can run in front of people, and it kind of be like Greyhound, and they do like a smoke screen in front of the enemies. It makes it harder for them to track the most of your vehicles. As I said before, you can have viruses, which I currently only have 1 with viruses because I don't think I need more than that. Any kind of major hard point you can stick on here. You can also have one as basically like reconnaissance. You can send them out there with a radar, so that means you have a radar on the island. Actuated camera, which will automatically lock onto other enemies. It also tracks for your ship if you would like to use that. Missile array, which is you can strap it with one of these, and it allows you to have up to 6 missiles per shot. Now, you cannot single shoot it, unfortunately, so when you shoot, you're going to be launching 6 missiles at a time. That's the one disadvantage to this turret. The anti-air cannon, aka Sea-Wiz, which I showed you on one of the walruses earlier. The 40mm cannon, but in my experience, don't use this on a SEAL. Because when the 40mm fires, it actually pushes the SEAL back because it has so much recoil. And then last but not least is a 30mm cannon, which is really good on a SEAL because, like I said, they can get in and out really quickly. So like I was saying, is they can have 1 major hardpoint and 2 minor hardpoints. Walrus, like I was saying before. 1 major hardpoint, 2 minors, just like the SEAL. And they can equip all the same stuff as the SEAL. And then last but not least is the Bear. It only has 1 major hardpoint, but it is a large hardpoint. So on the Bear, you can have a 100mm cannon, the heavy cannon, which is a gigantic cannon. I believe it is 140 or 160mm. It's basically a one-shot weapon. It's just its reload time is extremely slow. As you can see, I do not have those yet, but I really look forward to getting them. And last but not least is the artillery gun. The artillery gun is used for long range. So when you're coming up on an island or something like that and you have your AWACS up, you can actually use your artillery gun to sight in from the AWACS on this, so that you can shoot on an island really far away. Now, the big disadvantage to this is that you are shooting extremely far away, so its accuracy is extremely limited. But it is a 160mm round, so if it hits anything, it's pretty much done for. And it creates an explosion. So, it's kind of nice. Alright, over here is the Manta, like I was saying before. So you have 5 major hardpoints, 1 including the AWACS, which is the only major hardpoint for the middle one here. Your observation camera. You can have up to your 20mm cannons, rocket pods, bomb lights, bomb medium, bomb heavy, missile IR, which is what I like to use, laser guided missiles, AA missiles, which are using for like seeking and stuff on anti-aircraft, TV guided missiles, torpedoes, noise-making torpedoes, countermeasure torpedoes, and finally external fuel tanks, so that way you can strap them up for long-range reconnaissance. Down here, you can do your minor hardpoints, such as like countermeasures or EMP or any of that good stuff. Alright, let me just check and see where I'm at on the map real quick. Oh crap. I may have messed up. Wasn't paying attention to where I was going there. Get those online just in case. Well, this isn't good. Go ahead and deal with these guys real quick. Come on. Actually, I don't think these guys have sea boost. There's one. You can try to shoot that missile down, buddy. It ain't gonna work, though. Gotcha. Okay, so what the hell else was shooting at me? Oh, crap. Go ahead and take care of that right now. Missiles away. Get that manta. And I'm getting hit with torpedoes. What the hell? Come on. Get him. Get him. Oh, they shot down my missile. Alright, well, fine. Just launch two more. Oh, no, I think I actually hit him. Because he's hurting. You can see the smoke. Alright, so before I was so rudely interrupted, like I was saying before, your Razor Bills, they have two major hard points, which, like I said, I have the 20 millimeters. I currently have mine set with two major they also have two small hard points, which allow you to have EMP right here. And then this is an IR countermeasure, so that way you can get rid of missiles that are tracking the Razor Bill. The Petrel, like I said, 4 major hard points. It can also lift your vehicles. I currently have mine with missiles and 20 millimeter cannons, along with one for the observation camera. It's a gimbal, which can allow for stabilized or tracking, making for easier carrier missile shots. And last but not least, the Albatross, like I said, is basically acts as a predator drone. It can quickly come in, do a bomb run, or attack a target, kind of like an A-10 Warthog. Get in, get out, and be done with your mission. But that is my real brief overview and a small amount, a little bit of combat. Just showing you all the vehicles that are currently available in Carrier Command 2. That being said, I hope you enjoyed the show, If you're not yet subscribed, please like and subscribe to the channel so that way you can see more future content for Carrier Command 2 and other other games similar to this. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and see you next time.